Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's NSE Roadtrip session titled "Oh Canada, NSE Campuses to the North." Just a couple of reminders here. Please keep yourself muted during the main session. We do invite you to have your video on. We are recording the session, so folks that missed it can come back and watch it. We'll allow each campus to give a brief overview, and then also a reminder that NSE is on social media. Please make sure that you are following us there, especially on Instagram. Today's session will give a basic information about NSE. We will talk briefly about the immigration process. We have a specialist here to talk about that, specifically about U.S. students going to Canada. Every campus will give an introduction about themselves, and then there will be some Q&A at the end. If you have questions that come up during the session, please use the chat, and we'll do our best to address them in the moment. A little bit about NSE. NSE was founded in 1968. Our mission is to inspire academic enrichment, personal exploration, and student development by facilitating accessible collegiate study away among our member colleges and universities throughout the United States, Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Our values are: we value diversity, open-mindedness, and cross-cultural engagement, fostering learning, understanding, respect, and a sense of community among all people. We believe that adding a collegiate study away experience enhances education and enriches student growth. You'll see some taglines here about our purpose as well. NSE is really about expanding students' horizons. NSE is a membership organization. We currently have about 165 members that are part of the NSE consortium. We do welcome any major. NSE is really unique in that we can accommodate any major that you may have. NSE is also very affordable. You'll hear campuses talk about these terms: home tuition, host tuition. That indicates where the student pays tuition. We'll be giving more information about that as well. And it is also important to remember that financial aid is applicable for students who do NSE. And a few notes here on eligibility: 2.5 GPA beyond the first year of college, etc., are some of the main requirements listed here. We have 10 member campuses all across Canada, 2 in Alberta, 1 in Manitoba, 2 in Ontario, 3 in Quebec, and 1 in Saskatchewan. Not all of them were able to join us here today, but we're very excited to have 4 of our campuses presenting to tell you more about their campuses here today. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Amy, who works as the manager for international student supports at Brock University, to talk about the immigration process for U.S. students coming into Canada.
Hey, hello, thank you very much for having me. I am a registered Canadian immigration consultant. I mention this because it's very important that if you're getting any immigration information or advice, it is the law in Canada that the person needs to be licensed. So there's a few different designations. Mine is one of them. So I am legally allowed to give you information on Canadian immigration law. When you are applying for your study permit, if you want to hire someone, make sure that that person is licensed. You can find information on the link that's included here about representatives and who's licensed, how to choose one, how to find out if they're licensed, et cetera, et cetera. Study permits in Canada are required for studies that are over 6 months. So if you're participating in a program that is less than 6 months and you're going to complete your program within the time that you arrive to Canada from that 6-month mark, then a study permit is not required. Depending on where you're from, you might need another document. So for US citizens, you can come through with your passport, but if you're from another country, you may need either an ETA or a visa. And that application I'm not going to cover today because I'm assuming that most of you are US citizens, but if you need support with that, I'm always going to refer you back to your institution. Institutions in Canada, most of them have on staff a licensed immigration representative who can help you with your application. We always recommend that you make your applications online. US citizens may be eligible to apply at the port of entry. But we kind of call it the Wild West. You never really know what's going to happen at the border. So applying online is a much safer route. It gives you the option of adding documents. If IRCC is not satisfied with something in your application, they also have the opportunity to ask you for additional documents. Whereas when you apply at the border, it's one shot. You either get it or you don't. There's not this kind of opportunity to kind of add to your application or fix it. So you don't want to get turned away at the border. Always recommend to apply online. To get information on study permits, I've included some guides here that you should read through. It's a lot of information and a lot of reading. It's not a simple application, so please don't take it lightly. So I have IRCC study permit information, the country-specific requirements, and the instruction guide. Read through all of these very carefully. It is a lot of reading, but it's worth the homework because you don't want to get a refusal. And again, each institution usually has services available to help you with this process and to answer any questions around the institution-specific kind of deadlines or processes or things to be aware of. So use your institution as well to help you. These are a little bit backwards, but that's okay. So after you have successfully gotten your study permit approval, but not too early, you can arrive to Canada. So we recommend that you wait until your study permit is approved and don't try to enter Canada more than a reasonable amount of time. That's wording coming directly from IRCC. I've found that a couple of weeks before your term starts, no problem. Lots of students arrive then. But if you're trying to come in months before, you might have issues trying to come in because IRCC and the border officers are going to be questioning, are you actually a student? What is your purpose in Canada? Because students don't normally need months before their start date to be entering Canada. So please be cautious of this. Consult your institution on deadlines. So if you don't get an approval on time, what does that look like? When's the last day that you can arrive? Is there a date that you have to request a deferral? If you're going to be arriving for classes late, what does that look like? Is applying at the border potentially something that you could consider? And then finally, I have here a guide from IRCC on preparing for your arrival. So what documents to bring with you, what to expect at the border, things to think about, et cetera, et cetera. In terms of timeline, the average processing as of today, I think I got the date wrong here, but November 20th is 4 weeks from the USA. So if you're applying online, you can expect it to take about 4 weeks from the time a complete application is received until you receive a decision. This is an average, it's not a guarantee. So that's just to give you a sense of kind of how long you need to give yourself for this process. We always recommend you give more time than this because if you need a visa or if you need some other documents, then it could take longer than this. You can always also check on the processing times because these times do fluctuate. This is not like a kind of static number, but rather it fluctuates. So it will depend on when you're applying. The cost you can anticipate, if you do need a study permit, the study permit fee is $150. That's Canadian dollars. And if you haven't given biometrics before, you might also require that. It's $85 for biometrics if you need to give them.
Wonderful, Amy. Thanks so much. And I will share these slides, the presentation with everybody here today, so you have the hyperlinks that you can click on. We had one question in the chat for students who exchange to Canada for under the 6-month length. They do not need a study permit. Is that correct?
That's correct. You're still going to want to check out those documents because you still need to show that you are a student, that you're coming for under 6 months. So you're likely going to be asked questions at the border and you need to be prepared for that. So still read through everything. Still make sure that you're, especially this one, prepare for your arrival. Make sure that you're preparing for that. One of the things that the border officer and or IRCC is going to want to see is that you have sufficient funds to cover your stay in Canada. So you need to prove that you have enough funds to cover any tuition that you're going to be owing, your return travel, and your daily living expenses for the length of time that you're going to be in Canada. And those need to be documented funds.
Great. Copy of a bank statement or something typically, right?
4 months of bank statements can be used if you have a GIC, a scholarship, a loan. If someone is financing your stay, for example, a parent, you would want a letter from that person or organization detailing everything to do with who is this person, what's the relationship to you, where are these funds coming from, how are they providing them to you, and documented proof on that. So if, for example, my mom is funding my stay, I would want a birth certificate to show that that is my mom's bank statements, my mom's proof of employment, my mom's proof of business ownership, investments. The more documents you have when it comes to proof of funds, the better.
Wonderful. Any other questions from our audience? From Hope in the chat. Is the Canadian government still limiting visas?
Yeah, so visa and study permit are different. We don't have numbers and allocations and information for 2026, but yes, they will be limiting the number of admissions to Canada. What exactly that number means and what the exact rules are haven't been released yet. We're expecting that to come out in the next few weeks. So again, please make sure that you're in touch with your institution that you're going to. They will be able to help you navigate more what that means and if there's any additional documents that you might need as a result of these limits on the admissions that they've set for 2026.
Okay. A follow-up to that. Would you recommend a semester exchange over a year?
I think this really depends on the institution where you're going to and what kind of allowances they have and numbers that they're dealing with. And there's more to that than just immigration.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And then lastly, could a work permit also be given to students? So, question about employment.
Yeah, so typically if you're coming in on an exchange program, if you have a study permit, your study permit would have a condition on it allowing you to work on campus. You have to be a full-time student and you have to have that condition on your study permit to be eligible to work. I will mention that you should not be counting on working in Canada to fund your stay. That's one of the requirements set out by IRCC. You have to be able to have the funds to come to Canada without relying on work. If you are allowed the privilege of working while you are studying, that might be listed on your study permit. If you don't have a study permit, then you would not be eligible to work. If you did have a study permit and it has the condition allowing you to work on campus, please also be mindful that on-campus jobs might be limited depending on what institution you're going to. So that I wouldn't kind of count on getting a job while you're in Canada, but if you happen to have that authorization and there are jobs available, and you want to get a little bit of experience while you're in Canada, that might be an option for some students.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amy. This is very helpful information. I think
Okay.
we will move on to our first campus presentation. Thanks again, Amy.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're moving in this road trip. We're moving from east coast of Canada to the west. And our first campus presentation is Sarah Gu from University de Montreal. Take it away, Sarah.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Gu and I'm a Student Mobility Advisor and NSE Coordinator at Université de Montréal. So some facts and figures about UDM. We are ranked first in the province of Quebec in terms of leader in higher education. We're among the top 150 best universities in the world. UDM is a fairly large campus. We have over 60,000 students, and over 10,000 of our students are international students. A fun fact about Montreal. So Université Montréal is located in the city of Montreal, and Montreal was voted Best Student City in the world in 2017 and Best Student City in North America in 2025. So Montreal is pretty well located. We're in the southern part of the province of Quebec. So there are a few fun destinations that are accessible by car. We're just a few hours away from Quebec City, which is the capital of our province, and about 2 hours away from Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. And Toronto is a few hours away as well, which is another really fun, big metropolitan city in Canada. And Kingston is another amazing another destination that you can reach by car. And of course, some of my favorite destinations, because we're in the southern part of Quebec, we are very close to the States. So Vermont and New York City are just a few hours away if ever you're missing home or in Montreal, or you would like to visit these areas of the States that you've never had the chance to visit by studying in the States. All right, so some more information about our campus. Our campus is very strategically located. We are very accessible by public transit, so we're actually stretched across four different subway stations. And Montreal just launched a light rail transit system a few days ago, and there is a stop right on our campus. And through the light rail transit system, you can reach downtown Montreal in under 5 minutes. So, although we are really close to downtown Montreal, we are actually a very calm and green campus. We are located on top of the Mount Royal, so it's a very serene surrounding. By coming to UDM, you will really have the best of both worlds. So you will have the green and the nature of our campus, but you will only be a few minutes away from downtown Montreal. We also have a really large sports complex on campus, which is one of Canada's largest university sports centers. UDM is a French-speaking university, but we are located in a bilingual city. So if you're not perfectly comfortable with the French language, you can get around very easily by only speaking English. We also have multiple student associations and clubs that exchange students are welcome to join. Next slide, please. All right, so some information about our programs. Like David mentioned earlier in the presentation, NSE students can study abroad through either home pay or host pay, depending on the university you're from and the university you're going to. So at UDM, we accept NSC students through home pay and host pay. And what's really interesting about host pay is that it's really affordable, especially for American students. So we charge approximately $1,600 Canadian per semester for 4 courses. So this is in Canadian currency, which is even more affordable if you're coming from the States. So through home pay, we do require that students take a minimum of 2 French language courses, but the other 2 to 3 courses can be any course of your choice. So we are a comprehensive university. We offer almost all fields of study, and almost all of our programs are open to exchange students. So a few important details about our academics. Like I just mentioned, exchange students have access to almost all fields of study that we offer to our regular students. We offer a French language program that is available through home pay and host pay. And like I mentioned earlier, we have a host pay option that is very affordable, especially for American students. I'm sure you must pay a lot more than this when you study in the States. So it's about $1,600 per semester, 2 French language courses, and 2 to 3 electives of your choice. And finally, because we are a French-speaking institution, we do require that students have a B2 level of French proficiency. This is required for most of our courses, but for language courses, there is no language proficiency required. Now, a few photos to further inspire you to choose UDM. UDM is very student-centered, we're very community-oriented, and there's a large focus on sustainable development. So we really try to utilize all of our spaces on campus. We try to make everything pleasant and practical for our students. So any space that is not being used, we will use it to try to make it useful. We care about the environment and we care about our surroundings. So at UDM, for the past few years, we found a family of falcons who have decided to build their nest on top of one of our buildings. And that is the second photo you see. So we've actually created our own t-shirts, and all the profits go towards helping these little falcons that have decided to live with us. We also make our own beer. And the beer that we make is actually made with plants that we grow on campus and with honey that we harvest from our own beehives. Okay, next slide, please. And finally, student life at UDM. So we offer on-campus housing for most of our exchange students. So rooms are limited on campus, but we do try to accommodate NSE students. So every year we will reserve a few rooms, especially for students coming through NSE. For students who don't wish to live on campus, we also have an off-campus housing office, and their role is to help you find housing anywhere in Montreal. We also have a dedicated team to assist international students with immigration matters. So these are, again, licensed immigration consultants and lawyers, and they work full-time within our office. And their role is to help international students with any questions they may have regarding the immigration process. We also have an office dedicated to assisting new international students, and this office is also in charge of organizing orientation week activities. They offer a buddy program, and they also have free activities for students and especially exchange students all throughout the school year. We also have over 80 clubs and student associations, and exchange students are welcome to join. There is also one club that is called Create Your Own Club. So if you can find a club that meets your needs, you can create your own. Since we are a fairly large campus, we have 14 libraries all across our campus. So wherever you are on campus, if you want to take a little break, go study, there's always a library nearby. And most of these libraries have coffee machines. So if ever you need a little coffee break, there's always going to be a library just a few minutes away from you. And that's it for me. Thank you for listening. Please reach out if you have any questions, and we look forward to welcoming you on our campus.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And just to recap, UDEM does operate under both tuition plans, home and host. They generally accept over 75% of applicants requesting home tuition, and they are open on host tuition. So anybody wanting to go there on that tuition plan will be accepted. Thanks so much, Sarah. Next up, we have Brock University, and I believe it's Rox presenting, not Brian.
It sure is. I'm not Brian. I wish I was. So, hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here. My name is Rox Twalek. I'm our manager of international learning programs here at Brock University. It is International Education Week here, so we have a ton of events, and unfortunately, our NSE coordinator, Brian, was unable to make it, so you'll have to do with me, but I think I'll be just fine. So, you might be asking, where is Brock? What is Brock? Where did that name come from? But we'll just kind of situate ourselves geographically. So we're about 30 minutes from Niagara Falls, the Canadian side, and about 40 minutes from the US side. When you come to Brock, we'll let you decide which side you think is the better side. We're about an hour and a half from Toronto, about an hour from Buffalo. Niagara-on-the-Lake is an absolutely beautiful place, about half an hour away from us. And of course, we can see our friends in Montreal. We'll see Sarah in about 6 hours, and Ottawa about 5 to 6 hours away as well. So a little bit more about Brock University. We're founded in 1964, and we were named after the Major General Sir Isaac Brock. It would be remiss to not to mention the support and the work of our Indigenous communities during the War of 1812, and Chief Tecumseh is also recognized here on our campus in many different forms and statues and plaques, etc. But we are named after Sir Isaac Brock. Sir Isaac Brock's last words were "Surgite," which means to push on, and so I think that demonstrates the determination of our students here at Brock University. We are the only Canadian university located in a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, which is the Niagara Escarpment. We're about a medium-sized school, about 19,000 students with undergrad, grad, part-time students, etc. And we're proud to say that we have students represented here from about 110 countries. We have a cute little mascot, Boomer the Badger, who you'd see around campus and different events. And then we also have about 109 performing arts establishments, 108 local wineries. We're actually one of 3 places in Canada that can successfully grow wine, which is exciting. About 300 kilometers of bike trails, 43 golf courses, and home to the largest outdoor outlet mall. Fun fact, I learned that recently. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are focused as an academic exchange first and foremost. So to share a little bit more about kind of our academic areas here, you can see just some photos that showcase some of the labs and classrooms and seminars that we have on campus. So we have about 120 undergraduate and graduate programs spanning 7 faculties with over 600 faculty members. Just some standout and unique programs that we offer. We have business, health sciences, education, kinesiology, sports management, nursing, psychology. We also have our Marilyn I. Walker School of Fine and Performing Arts, which is about a campus maybe 15, 20 minutes down the road that focuses on visual art, dramatic arts, music, studies in arts and culture. And then, of course, our Grape and Wine Studies program, which is the only program in Canada. So exchange students coming through NSE, you'll notice there that we are a home pay campus. So students have access to almost all fields of study. There are very minimal asterisks. Here, it's just barring that students meet the prerequisites. If you're a second-year geography student, it is not likely that you're going to get into a fourth-year sports management class because you're interested in it. So you do have to have the required prerequisites, and it's usually not too difficult, and most programs are accessible. Also within the academic sphere, it's important to mention some of our learning supports that we have. So we have our learning services team that offers academic skills workshops and free tutoring. And then we also have our student accessibility services. So if you do require any academic accommodations and you are choosing to come to Brock, and I would encourage anywhere that you are going, if you're comfortable to disclose as early and often as you can so that supports can be put into place for you to be successful. Some fun little rankings here. We have our Canadian Maclean's annual rankings. So just a couple in the last few years. We've been consistently ranked pretty high for student satisfaction, #1 in mental health supports, academic advising, and library acquisitions. Next slide, please. So some other things about Brock. When students come and join us, we have a welcome week in the fall and the winter and every term that students are able to be here to start. And so we have about 40 plus events. One of those is our annual grape stomp. So you'll see the students who are posing like this. They've actually just stepped on 2,000 metric tons of grapes and have posed so nicely for us. But that is our annual homecoming tradition, which is our grape stomp. So we love when students participate in that. We also have a first 6 weeks program to ensure that students are successful during that transition of the first 6 weeks. We have about 150 student clubs. If there isn't a club that is of interest to you, then you can also start one with 9 other friends and you'll be good to go. 28 varsity sports and competitive sports clubs. Exchange students are able to try out for varsity sports. You just have to make that contact sooner rather than later to make sure that you don't miss the tryout dates. People have sent videos in before, and we have had students play on exchange on the rugby team, for example, and many other sports as well. We have a pretty active undergraduate students union, a lot of different leadership programs, and a big leadership student leadership summit. We're also mindful about food security and food safety for students. So we have a lot of really fun events like community cook-alongs where you can cook alongside some of your friends, take lots of food home so you can freeze it and eat it later. And today, actually, we had another pop-up pay what you can produce market. So you donate whatever you can and you can take a bunch of veggies and fruits and whatever food home. That little BU for you, that's kind of our tagline that we are here for you as Brock University. And if you do have family or other supports that are interested to know what's going on, there is a Family Connection newsletter that's circulated 4 times a year. So all of these great things that you can do, we have something called the campus-wide co-curriculum. It's your Brock bucket list. And so we encouraged students, there's about 110 things. Dressing up as Boomer the Badger is actually one of them in our Brock Spirit domain, but some other domains that we have include global awareness, arts and culture, personal growth, etc. Next slide, please. Some other highlights here. That is Sir Isaac Brock right in front of our Brock Tower. That is the highest, the tallest thing in the Niagara region. And it actually was always a kind of a lighthouse home. So I actually had to get home one day from really far away, Fort Erie, and I just followed the red light because I knew that was the Brock Tower. We have a full-size Olympic pool. We also have what's called our Brock Days of Service. So students all together go into the community and volunteer together during the first week of orientation. The little heart group there, I don't know if I can do one of those. That's our Swiftie Club. So if you're a Swiftie, you're more than welcome to join a whole bunch of other Swifties. And then again, we'd be remiss to not mention ice hockey and hockey, but that's our Steel Blade Classic, one of our homecoming events as well, where we pack the stadium and support our varsity hockey teams. Next slide, please. So a few other things. So we do offer on and off campus housing supports. We have teams for both of those. We do have an on-campus housing guarantee before the deadline of June 1st. You can see one of the residence rooms kind of there in that top right picture. There are meal plan options available on campus. The average rent in St. Catharines is almost 40% lower than Toronto. So if you are living off campus, it's also a great kind of financial, you're close enough, but just a little further that you might save some funds. The only two requirements for exchange students to pay into Brock, it is mandatory in the law to have health insurance in Ontario, so $66 a month, and a bus pass for the year. We also have a dedicated team of immigration advisors and international student supports. You met Amy here today briefly, and lots of welcome guides and supports and pre-arrival in our orientations. One thing I will mention is that if you do decide to come here for the whole year and perhaps it's not viable for you to go home for the holidays, we have an amazing program called Home for the Holidays, where we match you up with a staff member during the kind of holiday time to maybe have dinner together or go out for an event or do something, maybe skating or tobogganing, etc. So it's a really great program if you decide to stay here for the year. So I'll pause there and thank you so much.
Thank you, Rox. So as Rox mentioned, Brock University does operate on home tuition. Students continue to pay their home campus tuition, just pay room and board and some fees to the host campus. And the chance of acceptance is good. They generally accept between 50 and 74%. Thanks so much. Next up, we have Lakehead University. Take it away, Nick.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Nick McPherson. I'm here with you from Lakehead University. It's exciting to see so many people on the call. I'll be your main point of contact and support person for students coming to Lakehead through NSE. So just to start off with, our tagline at Lakehead University is exceptional, unconventional. And we're really proud to provide an experience that's exactly that to every student who comes and joins us here. So a few facts about Lakehead. We were ranked the #1 university under 10,000 students in North America this year, according to the Times Higher Education Global Impact rankings. So we are proud to be a smaller university with a little over 9,000 students, including a little over 1,800 international students and approximately 100 students on study away each year. So that allows us to have small class sizes with a 15-to-1 student to professor ratio. So at Lakehead, we're really able to provide a personalized support and experience while you're here. Your professors will likely know you by name, which is a great perk for coming to Lakehead. Next slide, please, David. As well, at Lakehead University, we actually have two campuses. So Canada's really vast. You might be asking where Lakehead is. Both of our campuses are in Ontario, which is also quite vast as a province. One campus, our Thunder Bay campus, which we consider our main campus, has almost 7,000 students. That's where I'm sitting right now. It's on the north shore of Lake Superior. It's about a 90-minute flight from Toronto and about a 45-minute drive to the Minnesota border. So you could always check out the state of Minnesota, where David is, while you're here with us at Lakehead at our Thunder Bay campus. Our Aurelia campus is in just north of the Greater Toronto area, so it's 90 minutes as well, but by driving from Toronto. It's on the shores of Lakes Couchiching and Simcoe. So both of our campuses, you'll find nature's right on your doorstep. At our Lakehead campus, we have Lake Tamblin and the McIntyre River running through our campus as a centerpiece. Our Aurelia campus also has environment at the top of mind, and it's embraced by the buildings there. They have a green roofing system on the academic building. They also have water collection ponds, and much more. Both campuses, students also regularly enjoy outdoor recreation at nearby parks, conservation areas. At our Thunder Bay campus, Sleeping Giant Provincial Park is not too far, which has amazing, extensive hiking trails. There's also many hiking trails across Simcoe County near our Aurelia campus. In addition to being surrounded by serene Canadian nature. Both of our campuses are also about 4 kilometers from the downtown core in the respective cities of Thunder Bay and Orillia. So students can enjoy community life in downtown at both cities, as well as enjoy the great outdoors while you're here with us. In Thunder Bay, we have many festivals as well as in Orillia. In Thunder Bay, each year we have a giant music festival called Wake the Giant, which is a celebration of all cultures with a focus on Indigenous artists and musicians. And the goal is to advance community in Thunder Bay. In Orillia, you're also close to Niagara Falls, under 3 hours to the Canadian or American side. The Ontario-New York border is there, so if you're in Orillia, you can always visit the state of New York if that interests you as well. Next slide, please, David. Moving on to some academic highlights. So we have 6 faculties open for study away, over 85 programs. You can see a list of some study area options while you're here. NSE students at Lakehead are welcome to take courses across disciplines and subjects. So you're not just limited to what you study at home, which is great for anyone looking to diversify their education, as long as you meet any prerequisite requirements. Like Rox mentioned, same as Brock. At Lakehead, we're well known, particularly for forestry, natural resources management, environmental studies, as well as the media, film, and communications, particularly at our Aurelia campus. We also have a really strong faculty of business, to highlight just a few. We are accredited with the Association of Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, which only 6% of business programs worldwide hold. So we're really proud of that fact. All students also have opportunities to embrace experiential learning because all of our instructors here at Lakehead really value that in their course design. An example there to the right is some students working in physics with an EM machine measuring charge to mass ratio of electrons, which really combines that theory with experiential learning that we're proud to have here at Lakehead. Next slide, please, David. So tons of options to find whatever you like. Looking at our residence and our athletics and recreation facilities, there's a picture here of our dormitory style room at the Aurelia campus. Similar, you'll find at the Thunder Bay campus. Students coming through NSE are welcome to stay at one of our on-campus housing options. We have the dormitory style as well as apartment style residence that you can choose from. We also have some off-campus housing options, so you're sure to find anything that will fit you best. Our residence team here at campus, both in Thunder Bay and Aurelia, also offer activities and various excursions for students living on campus, which I've heard lots of great feedback from students who are currently here on study away. For example, they went to Sleeping Giant Provincial Park this fall to hike the trails there. The middle picture is a view from the top of the Giant. It's the highest vertical drop in Ontario at almost 2,000 feet. Um, and the picture just to the right is the Sleeping Giant from Marina Park in Thunder Bay, which is close to our downtown core. For our athletics and recreation, our Thunder Bay campus has a state-of-the-art recreation facility. We have a brand new addition called the Wolf Den, which is named after our mascot, Wolfie. You can enjoy your usual workout routine there. You can join in a familiar sport or try something new at one of our many weight rooms. We have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a hot yoga studio, which is pictured there, bouldering wall. We also have a high-performance hockey center, indoor track, and more. And in Aurelia, students have access to recreational facilities through a partnership with the Aurelia Recreation Center. So both of our campuses have great opportunities for that. Next slide, please, David. Thank you. And just to go through our supports here at Lakehead University. So like I mentioned, we are a smaller school, which we're really proud of. So our supports are personalized to you. Our global mobility and engagement team is dedicated to supporting you. And my role specifically is focused all on ensuring that students coming inbound to Lakehead through NSE are well supported and have an exceptional experience while they're here. We also have dedicated centers for academic supports and all things related to your academics, such as our Student Central and our Student Success Center. They host webinars. You can set up one-to-one meetings, meet with academic advisors, etc., through their services. We also have a really great team at our SAS or Student Accessibility Services, and they're here to ensure that you're supported with any accommodations during your time. So before or after you're accepted here on exchange through NSE, you can reach out to our SAS team and they will be happy to ensure that you have whatever you need for your time here in terms of accommodations. Our Student Health and Wellness Center also has an amazing team here to support you related to all things health and wellness. And we have a WellU key that students can use to check in, as well as a robust student union called LUSU, a multicultural center, a gender equity center, and Pride Central, which are very active on campus with events and supporting all students. We have many clubs, almost 100 clubs run through our student union, LUSU. Just a few are listed there, such as the K-pop club to the Gender and Women's Studies club, some sports-based club like badminton, etc. And then finally, as an NSE student coming to Lakehead, you'll be part of our Global Me crew. So that means that you'll get a chance to meet all other inbound students coming on exchange from all over the world, including other institutions from the US, as well as outbound students here at Lakehead who have returned from an exchange somewhere else. So that builds community with our students who are internationalizing their degree. We also have a Global Me welcome luncheon and a farewell luncheon for all of our students when you arrive and before you leave. For each semester, we host some events and socials throughout the term. This term, we just had a board game cafe. And yesterday, actually, we had our Global Me Fair, which was an opportunity for students to showcase your home university, as well as we were talking to students about going on exchange all over the globe. So if you have any questions, feel free to stick around after, and I'll be happy to answer them. And we hope that you'll find home at Lakehead very soon.
Thanks so much, Nick. Lakehead University does operate under home tuition, and their chance of acceptance is excellent. They generally accept over 75%, I think pretty close to 100% of applicants, actually. So thanks a lot, Nick.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we have University of Alberta. Take it away, Michael.
Great. Thank you so much, David. So my name is Michael Guzovsky, and I work as the Exchange Programs Coordinator at the University of Alberta. We are located in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, on the other side of the continent, on the western side. We consistently rank as one of the top 5 universities in Canada and also consistently within the top 100 universities in the world. Our main campus is in Edmonton, which is the capital city of the province of Alberta, and we're nestled right on the south shore of the North Saskatchewan River, right next to a beautiful river valley, which is a major wildlife corridor through our city. And we have about 40,000 students, 7,000 of whom are international, representing about 156 different countries around the world. Edmonton's a great location. Western Canada is very, very beautiful, and we have lots of great destinations within reasonable car drives. Another great and exciting city just to the south of us is Calgary, Alberta. We're also close to the Royal Tyrrell Museum, which is a world-class paleontology and dinosaur museum, also in the south, right in the middle of the Alberta Badlands, about 3 hours south of us. And then also 3 hours east of us, we have Jasper National Park, and 3 hours southeast, we have Banff National Park, and both of those national parks are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Next campus, please, David. Next slide, sorry. Some of our campus highlights include the fact that we offer guaranteed on-campus housing for students who apply by our April 30th deadline, and that is a guarantee for students with September start dates. We have a lot of student clubs, about 450 student clubs and groups across campus, so literally almost something for everyone. Our campus in Edmonton is a key public transit hub. So from our campus, you have easy access to all points around the city, including the international airport just to the south of Edmonton. And we have many great sports facilities all around campus. In our Van Vliet complex, for example, we have a wonderful aquatic center and a great climbing gym. Next slide, please, David. We have about over 200 programs that are open to NSE students, and a few that are notable include our Native Studies program. So we are the only Canadian institution with an entire faculty devoted to Native Studies. Our forestry, agriculture, and food sciences programs in our Faculty of ALS, Agricultural, Life, and Environmental Sciences, they are open to NSE students, and they are world-class. In addition, we offer a great Women and Gender Studies program in our Faculty of Arts, and Earth Sciences in our Faculty of Science has been recognized as a world-class program as well, and that is open to NSE students. We have, to help you get here, we have a dedicated team of immigration consultants. And so these are some of the people that were mentioned earlier who are licensed that can help you navigate and understand those study permit requirements, for example, or anything else that you might need to be able to cross the border and then stay here for your NSE exchange. We have lots of academic supports in place for students with disabilities. So for example, we welcome exchange applications from students having documented disabilities affecting mobility, vision, hearing, learning, and or physical and mental health. We welcome everyone. Home pay is the option that we have open to NSE students. And finally, we have the second largest university library in Canada. Next slide, please, David. Some other interesting facts about the University of Alberta, and in particular Edmonton, where we're located. We are a center of culture and entertainment. So as the capital of Canada's province of Alberta, we have many highlights. The exciting Ice District, for example, is home to an incredible arena where you can check out sports and concerts from major international artists. And while nearby, we have the Art Gallery of Alberta and the Royal Alberta Museum that offer more quiet and contemplative outings. We're safe and secure. Edmonton is one of the safest major urban centers in the world, so you can head out without worry or hesitation. We offer a modest cost of living. So Edmonton is one of the offers a very modest cost of living compared to other major Canadian cities. We have everything you need. Edmonton has many stores and shopping centers. Many of you have probably heard of the West Edmonton Mall, which is one of the largest shopping malls in the world. And finally, I can pretty much guarantee that you're going to have bragging rights once you're done in exchange with us. We are the northernmost major Canadian city, and we pride ourselves on being a winter city. So after your exchange, you can confidently claim that you have what it takes to live through a true North Canadian winter. Next slide, please, David. I could honestly tell you a million things about the University of Alberta. I don't want to overwhelm you with details, so I invite you instead to please take out your phone and use a QR code reader. Take a snapshot of this QR code and visit our website, or at least the part of our website dedicated to incoming exchange students. We would love to have all of you come for an NSE exchange to the University of Alberta. So please consider it. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I would welcome any questions you might have at this point.
Thank you, Michael. Just to wrap up, your campus, as a reminder, operates on home tuition and generally has a good chance of acceptance, accepting between 50 and 74% of applicants. I'm going to wrap up the presentation and then we can move into Q&As. So what comes next? For students, it's important you connect with your home NSE coordinator. You can do that on the NSE website, nse.org. Click that request info button and send a message to your NSE coordinator. You can also begin your application at any time. That is done on the NSE website. Click apply now. And for exchanges next academic year, fall 2026 or spring 2027, applications are generally due in February. So make sure that you initiate your application before then. And we encourage you to sign up for an NSE info session if you have more specific questions or need kind of a broader overview of the process. NSE HQ, we do offer virtual info sessions at least once a week, and you can sign up for those on the NSE website. Please do register. And lastly, please continue engaging in the NSE road trip. This is the fifth session actually we've done, the fifth stop of the NSE road trip, and we have 5 more coming up. And so you can see all of the recordings from previous sessions on our virtual fair website, as well as sign up for the future sessions there. I really appreciate you all being here today. If you have general questions or need help, stay here, please. If you want more information, visit this on the NSE website, nse.org. For next steps, you really need to connect with your home NSE coordinator. You can find that contact info on the website. And just a reminder again to follow us on social media. So again, thank you so much for participating in this stop of the NSE road trip. We hope to see you on the next stop.